Welcome back to Starkiller Base. Today we have the start of our coverage of the Black Knight Games Regional that was held on February 3rd, 2018. Legacies was legal, but Rivals was not. So this is round one. Feels really good to be back into what Starkiller Base was built upon. We've got Jay on the left playing eObi-Wan, and we've got Matt Cosino from the Chance Cube on the right playing Elite Sabine with single die Yoda. Jay brought Frozen Waste to the field, and Matt has his Outer Rim Outpost. We'll see whose battlefield gets chosen this time.
I'm gonna pitch this for solution.
We'll take yours. Okay.
So it looks like Matt won the initiative roll, and he's taking Frozen Wastes, which is probably a pretty good choice. It gives him that 4 hit point delta, and also Sabine will probably have her dice resolved before Jay can claim to get rid of them, but who knows? I mean, Obi-Wan and Maz are pretty fast too. So Jay starts off with a Shoto Saber on Obi there. I do apologize for the glare there. I tried my best to avoid it. It does get better in the future rounds, but after I set up the camera, it turns out that they turned on some more lights. So Matt put out Maz's goggles on Yoda, and Obi-Wan comes in, puts a shield on himself with his ability, rolls in, gets a +2 melee, a blank, and a resource. So Yoda's coming in here first, which is pretty standard for this Sabine Yoda deck. You roll in, you get a special or a double focus, and then when you do your Sabine action cheaty stuff, you can play all in or impetuous to resolve a die and then slap someone for 6 or whatnot. Maz comes in there, rolls nothing that Jay is looking for, unfortunately. So Matt only has 1 resource, which means he's gonna have trouble getting a ambush weapon on here, but there's Yoda's special, so he'll be able to do it now. I'll take him 2 actions though. So if Jay had some way to get rid of Yoda's dice, that would be pretty good. So he's putting 2 damage into Yoda with synchronicity there because he's got that melee and the shield showing. Looks like Jay's gonna have to do a reroll here. Maz did not come up with any focus to fix those Obi-Wan dice, but there's some definite potential there. He could put 8 damage out somewhere. Could potentially kill Yoda this turn. Not likely, but you never know. Looks like Matt's already got a second chance in hand, which is always nice to hang on to. So Yoda's using his special. We get $1. We use Maz's goggles. And it looks like he's got an Obi-Wan's lightsaber and a Taro Strike and a riposte in there. So we'll see which event Matt gets rid of. They're both kind of dangerous. I think riposte it's easier to trigger, but it gets rid of the shields, whereas a Taro Strike, you keep the shields, but you have to have that melee on the character die. So he's pitching a Taro Strike to reroll, dumping everything. At least Obi-Wan is not doing so hot, but at least Maz has got her focus this time. If she had gotten a focus on her roll-in, then someone would have 5 less hit points, but such is life. So we'll see if Matt's got any die control here, or if he's just going all in with this Sabine ability. Alright, so the Hidden Blaster's coming out of the discard pile, removing a shield from Obi-Wan. Sabine's going to roll in, and 2 blanks and a resource, so definitely not what Sabine was looking for. So we'll see. He takes a resource from the ambush action, which enables quite a lot of die control in the deck. So Jay focused to the 3 on Obi-Wan, and then Matt plays Overconfidence and rerolls it into 2 shields, and an Obi-Wan die goes by the wayside. These rolls are just hot today, oh my goodness. Jay rerolled with that Obi-Wan saber, got a blank, a melee, and a shield. Better than nothing, but not much better than nothing, sadly. Looks like Matt's got a running interference there, which is a pretty key card for the deck. He's got that second chance in hand, which he probably doesn't want to discard to reroll, although Jay has shown that Sabine is not the target yet, so it's probably not going to be very useful. But with Sabine die going by the wayside from the Frozen Waste claim, well, there's not much point in rerolling the Hidden Blaster.
I'm going to claim 6 and kill him.
That's one of the tricky parts about running Frozen Waste in an Obi-Wan Maz deck, is that you have some of the most expensive character dice in the game. I mean, it does provide some extra die control, which is nice if you can be fast enough that you get to resolve your dice before your opponent. But when you roll in and eMaz comes up with not much useful, then unfortunately it can get used against you. So Ancient Saber comes out in Obi-Wan. And we'll see what Matt does with his first action here. There are no weapons in his discard pile. I'm sure that Yoda will come in first here. Yeah. So he's got the Yoda special and the blank on the Maz's goggles. With Maz's goggles on Yoda, there's some pretty serious options for focusing Sabine's dice, and I guess you could make sure that no events are safe in your opponent's hand too. So Obi-Wan comes in, gets a shield, and he rolls a resource, a blank, a shield, and a 3 melee for 1. He does not have the money to pay for that right now, but no matter what Maz rolls in, he can resolve the 3 damage if he chooses to by taking the resource and then using it to pay. So Yoda special does the 2 focus on the Maz's goggles and takes $1. Maz comes in here. Will she get a focus this time? Yes, she does. So which 2 dice is Jay going to resolve? Probably a focus. I'd maybe focus the Obi-Wan.
Yes.
That's a tough one.
Focus.
Focus the Obi-Wan 3 melee to a 3 and just resolve it.
So
Maybe.
whenever I take an action, I can
Just get that damage in.
you can't take the
There we
same
go.
action
So Yoda's at 5.
for your entire turn.
I'm not sure that going for Yoda first in the Yoda Sabine deck is the best plan. I mean, he does help fix Sabine's dice, but when you've got economy going and Sabine full throttle with never tell me the odds and whatnot, it doesn't really matter if Yoda's there or not, and you're certainly not getting rid of much of the character points when you kill Yoda. So DL44 goes on top of the hidden blaster, and Jay has to remove a die. Running interference is used on playing a card, I believe. Makes sense, since the characters are already activated. Hidden blaster comes out, takes another shield off Obi-Wan, I think. Let's see if Matt remembers. Yeah.
I would say that.
And then in comes Sabine with her 2 actions. And the double focus is going to make that awfully nasty. So that's going to be 11 damage, and Jay can't play a card. So you see here the power of this Sabine deck. It's interesting because, you know, without running interference, Sabine is just a pain when she rolls well. But with running interference, it doesn't matter if she rolls well or not. If you've got ways to fix her dice, then this is just... Personally, I find it kind of disappointing that this interaction exists in the game. But such is life.
Come on, buddy. Wake up.
So Jay tries to play Lothcat, but he can't play a card. All he can do is resolve a die.
Oh, I forgot that we were still on the same turn. Yeah, I'll pitch.
Probably take the shield and Obi-Wan. He's pitching to reroll. Gets a resource, a +3 melee, a +1 melee.
Okay. Okay.
So Maz is killed, and Obi-Wan takes 3 damage.
Oh, that's an action.
And now, of course, Jay's problem is if he rolls that Obi-Wan die and hits the melee side he needs, then Matt can claim and take it away. So he's got himself behind on actions a little bit here.
Roll again.
I think I would have re-rolled the Ancient Saber because the Shoto's not likely to connect. But such is life.
During your
So Matt may as well just claim and take the... Yeah, there we go.
yeah, you can re-roll it for sure. So you could still
Looking for the 1 and 6, apparently.
yeah.
I think I'd be re-rolling both here, but...
I'll take the shield off. That's not count as you was
I mean, Jay's kind of behind at this point, so he probably needs the 1 and 6, but I think that with 4 usable sides on the Ancient Saber, I would probably have rerolled it as well. Especially since the 1 on the Shoto and the +3 was not enough to kill Yoda anyway. So you can definitely see here the power of the Yoda Sabine deck. I mean, Ezra Sabine's almost as bad. It's got more damage dice in Ezra, but less die fixing in Yoda, because Yoda can do something like roll in his dice, hit a special or a focus, and then when Sabine does her action cheating thing, you can play all in and resolve the dice. Like, there you go. If Matt rolled in Yoda, he got a 2 focus and a 1 focus. Obi-Wan's coming in here. He gets a 1 melee, a 3 melee, a resource, and a resource. So if Matt uses Sabine's ability to... I don't know if he has any ambush weapons in his discard pile, but if he did, he could roll her out, and then he could play all in and fix 3 of his dice with Yoda's ability and then just mash Obi-Wan pretty hard. It's a pretty deadly combination. Like I said, I don't like that combination exists, particularly with running interference. I mean, it's not so bad with all in and Sabine's ability, but I think Sabine's always been kind of a dangerous character. So let's see what's Matt's got here. I don't think he has any ambush weapons in his discard pile, like I said. So if he had one in his hand, he probably would have already discarded it. So he must be a bit of a conundrum here.
Oh, I got you, man.
Yoda's got 5 hit points left. Oh, apparently he did. He had a hold-up blaster in there. My apologies. So he overwrites the hidden blast with a hold-up blaster. And then, of course, he's going to use Sabine's ability and pay 2 to put that hidden blaster back in. Oh, maybe not. Guess he's saving money for something. He probably has all in. So Sabine rolls in, and Jay has 1 chance here to mitigate some dice.
Tap in interference so you can't resolve the die.
Play Reaping.
My apologies. So Matt used the hold-up blaster overwrite with Sabine's ability, so he has the extra action here.
If you have a guard handy, but
Hey, let's try this
So
again.
he's using his first action
3, 6, 9, 11.
to fix all of Sabine's dice, and he's used his running interference when the hold-up blaster was played to say that Jay can't play any cards. So there's 11 more damage, and that's pretty much it. So Obi-Wan has 1 hit point left after this comes through. Force Solution goes down on Yoda, squelching any hope of Jay actually killing a character in this turn, unfortunately. So 5 into Sabine. And of course, with a 3-cost upgrade on Sabine and second chance in hand, that's not going to do all that much, unfortunately. So Obi-Wan has 1 hit point left against the onslaught on the other side of the board here. It is not looking good for the Jedi General guy here. So Jay uses the Ancient Saber to heal Obi-Wan, which is good and bad. He's 1 Sabine 3 away from being dead regardless, and now has less ability to kill anybody, but it wasn't likely that was going to happen anyway with what Matt's got in hand and on board here. So Jay lightsaber pulls, gets another Ancient out.
so that one's in your discard? Or?
No, when you sacrifice it, it goes back underneath the deck, but I accidentally put it in the discard.
There's a little bit of confusion here because Jay accidentally discarded the Ancient Saber.
I can remove all your shields and do 2 damage to that character, or
So that Ancient Saber that's down there should go to his hand. He hasn't paid for it yet.
So where's that one?
In my hand.
He does have $2 to do just that, which might not be a bad idea. Would you use it again this round to heal 2 more? Maybe, but I mean, having Obi-Wan at 5 health left is still easily a kill target for Sabine, unfortunately.
yeah, seriously.
Well Connected goes away because of spotty yellow. It looks like Matt does not fear Obi-Wan killing Sabine, and rightfully so. So the second chance goes away here.
Go ahead.
It'll be very difficult for Jay to get an action here. Sabine just needs to pay 2 for that hidden blaster and roll in. If she can't get a single 3 damage out of all those dice, then chances are. Okay, the hidden blaster comes down from Matt's hand, saying you can't play a card. Oh, he's taking the long road here. Rolls in Yoda, gets a Yoda special and a focus.
I'll activate Obi.
Obi-Wan comes in here, gains a shield, 2 shields, sorry, from the Shoto and from Obi's ability. Rolls in 3 resources and a blank, which is clearly not what he's looking for. Just a single melee side could change things, but the Sabine Yoda deck doesn't really allow for a lot of interaction, so chances are he wouldn't be able to do anything with die control anyway, unless he did it with the Yoda and the eMaz's goggles right now. So the hidden blaster comes out for an overwrite, removes a shield from Obi-Wan, and then Sabine rolls in, or would roll in. Matt would play the all-in, focus 2 of her dice, and Obi-Wan will be dead. So Looks like Obi-Wan is gone, and Matt is moving on to 1-0. So there we go. That's a pretty textbook example of that Sabine Yoda deck, and it is pretty brutal. So stay tuned for more coverage for this event coming soon, and thanks for watching Starkiller Base.